success.
Yeah.
And now back deep in the RLCS in this event. And it's going to be a tough matchup for Team Liquid as a whole. Moist Esports has been so good this year once they found their footing.
And I just can't believe how far we've come, you know, as an esport. I mean, Joyo, he said he was at the previous event, the RLCS Championship in London. And now he, you know, obviously trying to get back there, the road to London. And of course, if they win this series, this is huge for Moist Esports. If they win this series, they clinch a world spot. So a lot on the line, of course, for Joyo, his team included. And with such a young lobby, we'll see if nerves end up playing a effect here with what's on the line and what's at stake, James.
Certainly. And we got a glimpse at what they can do under immense pressure, that being, you know, formerly Team Queso, now Team Moist, making such a deep run from the lower bracket. Now threatening an early goal. You're seeing Team Liquid trying to fend off this attack. A demo from Oski.
Oh my
Vatira flipping back, actually denying the angle. Shot coming out. Joyo will stop that.
That was unbelievable from Vatira. As he's rotating back, he demos the player who could have gotten an extra touch on the ball, and then also put himself in between the ball and the goal line to get a touch and keep the ball out, doing so much work with one rotation. Huge play there from Vatira to keep them all tied up. 0-0. We've had shots from both sides. It seems as though both teams heating up.
Joyo, we see another demo from Vatira, giving Joyo space to dribble and gets the mid boost. The challenge will be a high ball for Vatira off the ceiling, going for a ground pinch 50, but Archronic is able to win that out to Oski. Now Oski trying to take it high, does get the bounce off the challenge, but Atal was a little too close on the heels, wasn't able to follow up the play.
That's a big clear from Joyo. And we'll see if this ball stays in the air. I know that if you're a Moist Esports fan, you're probably gonna feel the best whenever that ball is high flying because of the mechanics that can be brought out from Moist Esports. We've seen it all over the RLCS and every single highlight reel. Every single player has a lot to offer in the air, and so does Team Liquid. I'd say that they can definitely match it. As Gregan said, this is a very likely chance of getting an upset here for Team Liquid, but of course still in favor of Moist Esports as they try to keep this ball still in the air and still, of course, on the defensive side of Team Liquid.
Yeah, of course, the desk sweeping the prediction for Team Moist.
Yeah.
And we saw even just moments ago the double commit from Team Liquid. You're starting to see Moist make some progress. Now an infield pass. Joyo will catch the dribble. Boost steal from Rise. Lots of space, but Atao will clear it out. Excellent speed. Low boost as well.
Oh, he can't
get in. And that 50, trying to tiptoe it in. Not able to convert.
Oh my goodness, Oski was looking for that angle too, coming across the net just a little bit late on the rotation, couldn't find it. Here comes Rise now turning around on the defensive side. We've come to a little bit of a stalemate. Both teams throwing some big clears towards each other's net, but nothing huge slipping up for the defense. Now another 50-50 from Joyo, can't find it, and we've come to a slower approach now from both teams. Looking to see if maybe they can bury something out of the net. A good demo attempt. And Joyo's going to get a free clear.
If that connected on Joyo, that might have been a goal. It's a bang-bang play. Joyo able to dodge the bump.
Ooh.
And get the clear. Now another good challenge by Atao. Joyo can't tip it. Rise will boom it downfield. The Chronic was the last man back. Didn't want to commit the house. Very tight game so far, Turtle.
And it's a very low scoring game, which I think is more expected. I mean, Moist Esports, they've already played 4 overtimes here in the 2 series that they've had so far in the tournament, and coming away with a 50% win rate there. So they're used to these OTs, but they obviously want to prevent it if they can. Vatira looking for a 50-50. He does connect, and now Roz on the other side.
Great defensive hustle there on the back check, getting the bump, forcing the 1v1. And Vatira in those 1v1 situations been able to stand tall time after time for Moist in game 1. A Joyo bouncing in on that, getting a bump as well. Vatira past Atao. Joyo gets the bump on Atao as well. Flip reset into the center. A miss. Back pass. Rise. Blocked on the goal line by Atao. Somehow Moist does not score there.
Oh, Oh, we even got the flip reset, the pass in the midfield, but the defense is just too strong. Maybe they get something down the other way. A Chronic looking to end this one here before we go into OT, but it looks like Vatira will get the clear. Maybe Rise a shot early on, save from Oski. And still, we might not get OT if we go down the other way.
Oh, Joyo is downfield. Atau, not the best touch. We'll get a follow-up. Rise there to keep the ball in play. Rise to Vatira. Vatira now off the ceiling. Joyo can't get it. And we have overtime. Team Liquid surviving by the skin of their teeth.
That's a preview of what this entire series has to offer. I'm excited. You know this is going to be action-packed, still scoreless. But we've gotten plenty of opportunities on both ends. Rise into the midfield, looking for Joyo. Does connect, but they're going to send it to the corner.
That's how. It's the bump on the challenge, making space for Oski. The 50 will kick out wide on the other side of the field. The Chronic going for a pinch. Vatira downfield, but Atau.
Oh, big bump.
Blowing down the play. Joyo with some space. Air dribble. Gets bumped off the ball. Now Rise.
Oh, another one.
Nice pinch up high, but Atau so comfortable on defense in the corner. The counterattack is on. Vatira denying the backboard.
And he's got the double two all the way forward to Rise. He found him. The target man downfield. And I've been noticing more and more physical plays from Moist Esports here. It's slowly been working and causing a couple of gaps in the defense, but nothing that Moist Esports have been able to capitalize yet. Almost a minute into this OT, and it seems like it's been all Moist.
But Team Liquid on the goal line has been a staunch defender of that net.
Yeah.
Oh. Another nice defensive play from Oski. Atau, good read off the backboard and gets the second touch to beat Vatira and the mid boost. Joyo out of boost. The pinch will send it back to Vatira. Vatira lets it bounce up.
How did he read that? How did he know that bounce was going up? I have absolutely no idea, Vatira. The prediction there. Unbelievable. A good 50 win there from Rise 2. Looking to find a pass across. But you were right, James. I mean, this defense from Team Liquid, it's a brick wall.
And the comfort that they've had in very uncomfortable situations has been impressive.
Right.
Vatira losing that ball. You see a Chronic diving in on Joyo. Nice touch from Oski. Will beat it around Joyo. Now Rise blocked out by Atau.
Oh, Chronic gets it.
Shot. It's good. A defender from Moist was in net, but the bounce shot still finds its way through.
Oh, and everybody was on the ground. Nobody early up. And Joyo, you can see,
he went the wrong way.
He decided to rotate back into net instead of coming out to get the challenge. And I think a big part of that, James, was the fact that he had very, very low boost. So he opted to go for the save on the goal line instead of rushing out and risking a potential loss to that challenge and not having the speed and boost to catch up.
Yeah, and you saw him turn towards center of the net, and that left the near post vulnerable.
Yeah.
It was a quick play. And Team Liquid steal this first game. And Turtle, I think you said it, Moist had a lot of possession, a lot of opportunities, and even seeing these chances on the replay. But Team Liquid, they were able to make save after save after save.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was no fluke. You saw the positioning was there. The reads were quite difficult. They were there. And also they've been able to bait Moist Esports in to jumping up for those midfield challenges when they have that extra touch. And you don't see many teams be able to fool Moist like that, where they can, get them to jump, get them to waste that boost. And then for Team Liquid, they get that extra touch into the middle or into the corner, and then the counterattack is on.
Well, and most of the time against Moist, you can't go for that play style where you're trying to be defensive and you're opting to go for saves because of how good Moist are mechanically. If you give them any opportunities, they are going to punish you. And if you give them any shots, truthfully, James, it might be over just because you're giving them a chance. But with the level of defense and the level of saves that we've seen out of Team Liquid, it has been working slowly. Their boost game has been on point as well. If you notice towards the end of that OT, Moist were very starved. They couldn't find any boost. Their corners were constantly getting taken up. And as a result, of course, we see a Team Liquid win. So we'll see. Maybe that's the same play style that we go for and that we see out of Team Liquid. There have been more demos, definitely on the side of Moist Esports, but it hasn't broken down Team Liquid whatsoever. Oh, and that was a free one from Rise.
That wide open. That was wide open. Moist still searching for their first goal. Rise, nice first touch. Flip reset chance. Will go for the double instead, and it's blocked yet again by Oski, who refuses to let Moist get on the score sheet.
And that was a crazy read from Oski because you normally assume that you get a flip reset out of the striker in that situation, but he went for the double tap instead, called his bluff, and got the save.
Vatira, that shot blocked and cleared off the goal line by a Chronic. And somehow there was no save credited for that first touch.
Oh my goodness.
But Team Liquid, under immense pressure, is holding up in every situation.
And that was the exact same play where they read the striker so well. They knew he wasn't going for a flip reset and was immediately going to take the shot and got the pre-jump save. Team Liquid have the read on where Moist are trying to shoot every single ball, it seems.
And we'll see if that causes Moist to change their look. Vatira, credit to him in those situations. He's had a lot of 1v2s, 1v1 situations where he has denied Team Liquid, but Team Moist need to find something on offense. And now's a chance, but a team bump, and then Oski takes out Rise. A disaster of a play there for Moist.
And Joyo gets bumped, but he still found the recovery and a flip reset. I wanted to see that one going just so I can see it again on the replay because of the recovery. Unbelievable stuff from Joyo.
That's how. Able to clear it downfield and gets a bump attempt on Vatira. Will steal the corner boost and will turn on this play. Has Oski in the middle. Does find the path, but Oski doesn't connect on the shot.
And that was one that, of course, had to at least be met with some kind of shot. A big opportunity wasted from Team Liquid. And they're going to look to go back to the drawing board to see what else they can muscle up here against Moist Esports. 2 players in net. Nobody wanted to go for the challenge. A weak shot thrown off from Rise on an opportunity where both teams now have missed a chance of scoring a goal here, James, and at least ending this drought.
Goals have been hard to come by. Chronic hard off the backboard. Rise can't get to it in time. Vatira trying to hit it back. 14 boost, not much. Rise with some help. Man. Rise also low on boost. Boost troubles continue for Moist, but that's a fantastic first touch from Joyo. A tip from Atau. The shot blocked again by Oski, who has been invincible in net.
Unbelievable from Team Liquid and, of course, Oski. And I still think it's coming down to the boost consumption here. I've noticed Vatira, as that third man back, a lot of times he'll get more and more aggressive. But the fact that he hasn't been able to get his own corners to find boost, he's even low here on 0 boost. Vatira rotating back. And that's what's creating this slower approach from Moist when we're so used to them being speedy. If they can't get the boost, they can't be aggressive. Here's Vatira, though, finally getting 100 boost. And, of course, it's met by a challenge.
And, of course, it's Oski who shuts the play down, who gets the other challenge there in a Chronic. Had that ball skip off his hood.
Look at the speed.
And they're continuing on the counterattack. Joyo, backward bounce, rebound. A Chronic shot will go wide. Wasn't on target. Chance to either score or force a rebound. The shot didn't come out, but Oski trying to march this ball downfield. A pinch. We'll send it to the corner. Atau getting demoed.
There we go.
Now a pinch from Vatira. Oski tipping it around 1. Rise. Solo play potential. But it's shut down again by Team Liquid. Vatira booming it back downfield. Oski against Rise. It's hit hard to the middle. Atau getting a bump on one player.
10 seconds, James. Final moments. Counting down. Joyo's on the backboard. He does find the path. It's across the net, but to nobody. They do keep the offensive pressure going, but that pass just rolled across, James.
And there we have overtime again. 0-0. Team Liquid able to come out top last time in this exact situation. And you saw the opportunity, and Vatira, as that third man, was pretty far out. We're seeing Moist on these rebound plays not be in that, going for the kill position. They're a little bit spaced out.
They're forced to go all the way back, James, on defense. Instead of finding a midfield boost, or even smaller pads are getting taken from Team Liquid, who not only are finding the saves, but getting aggressive enough to take those midfield boosts. And look at that win from a Chronic. That's huge here for Team Liquid. Another one, challenge from Atau. Finds the 50-50, but Vatira's downfield. Moist Esports, they have been relentless. Even if they're not finding boost, they're still throwing everything they've got at the other side.
Certainly, and you saw Vatira make that pass in on 0. Boost, a hard shot blocked by Oski. Oski has been the worst enemy of Moist. Camped out on the goal line, making tough save after tough save. Ooh. And we're a minute into this overtime. It took 2 minutes before Team Liquid won last game. A Chronic almost getting a flip reset 50. Good speed from Atau. Corner boost steal. Infield pass. Oski tipping it up high. Atau down to a Chronic. And a Chronic. He hits it too lightly. Still keeping the ball in play.
My goodness.
That was a game-winning chance for Team Liquid, but the shot was too weak.
And Vatira, he is the guardian angel for Moist Esports, getting the initial save there on the drop-down pass from their own ceiling, and then recovering in the net to get the follow-up on the midfield pass. Vatira putting in so much work to keep them alive in the OT. And here he is again, looking to find something in the midfield. He might get a flip reset around one player, but instead met from a 50-50 from a Chronic.
And a Chronic reading that direction change on the ball on the flip reset. Low boost situation for Atau. Will stay upfield. Now has to retreat. Oski tipping it high. Joyo to the middle of the field. Ball for Rise. Pass to Vatira, but it's right at the defense. Forces the double. Vatira with the half flip pass. He's keeping possession. Rise tipping it up to himself. Taking space. Hard shot. It's high. Rebound out. No one there to hit it. Joyo will get demoed off the ball. Intense gameplay. Moist on the doorstep. Will they be able to close this game out?
Oh, look at the patience from Joyo, though. He thought somebody else was going to go for it. The backboard read jumps on top of it. And still, they can't get a goal, James Bott. It seems like they don't even have enough money to buy one at this point.
Oh, and Atau got bumped and still was able to make it to that play. Chaos on the back line. Team Liquid still make it work. And now Oski with huge space up to Atau, who puts it off the backboard. A Chronic corner pass. Oski up quick. Dangerous ball.
That's not in.
It bounces wide. That 50 was in a dangerous spot. Could have been 50'd in. And we're over 3 minutes in. A Chronic won't connect. The net was wide open. If that hit went towards net, perhaps it could have gone in. Atau up to the backboard. Vatira all alone and makes the play.
And he makes the play on barely any boost. He finally does pick up the corner boost, which have been so valuable for Moist Esports here, as he's been getting stolen left and right from Team Liquid. Rise is keeping this ball, of course, in the battle from the corner. Oski finding the 50-50. Still very, very neck and neck from both sides. They've had opportunities. Vatira with barely any boost going for the air dribble. If he had maybe 20 more, he could have gotten more power behind the ball. But Moist Esports are continuing this tear, James.
And that was a lovely play by Joyo, getting the first touch off the ceiling, flipping into that ball, trying to challenge it in. The consistency that these players are bringing with their mechanics. Now a chance to end it.
Double tap.
Oh, and Rise could have ended it there. A rare miss on the double tap from Rise. It was the perfect setup. It was the right call. Don't know if he was intentionally going for the fake or what, but you'd think that he would have just gone for the double tap, had the vision that the net was open.
Yeah. It's very rare where we see this from Moist Esports, the mechanics slightly off, and that's just how important it is for these young players now to be on point with their mechanics, because they rely so much on these flip resets. The double tap Joyo there, it looked like a mistake, but ended up working out in his favor.
With no boost, Turtle. He was floating with no boost, and it hit off of him. He could do nothing.
I don't even know what's going on. This is pure chaos, but I'm loving it.
Moist having some good looks. They are not able to score.
And there's a little bit of hesitation you can tell from both teams as that third man. You get so deep into an OT, when you're that third man, you don't want to be the guy who overextends and risks everything with just one push or one miss.
Yeah, it's better to just give up possession and live to fight another day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now you see Rise hunting for the demo on Oski. Oski getting the touch, dodging the demo, taking it to his other corner. But Vatira up against Atau. Atau muscling through and now getting a pinch down. And Rise will give up possession.
And it didn't even look like he wanted to give up possession there. Was looking instead to find a pass. And putting another shot on net is Rise. It seemed like he was going to go for the give-and-go attempt. Here comes Atao. This is a big opportunity, a huge breakaway, a 50-50. Even bigger, he stays on the goal line. Back-to-back 50s from Atao.
Holding a brick wall between him and the corner, not letting that ball go anywhere but in front of net. And Oski will steal the second game for Team Liquid. 5 minutes and 45 seconds of overtime. An extra game of Rocket League played in OT. Insane defensive stops on either end. Look at the saves for Team Liquid. 8 saves for Atao. 5 saves for Oski, 4 saves for Acronic. Another 1-0 game that went to overtime. We're only 2 games in, and we've been doing this for about 20 minutes, Turtle. And this has to be trading, and this has to be tough for Moist.
Absolutely, and that's why we do see a timeout called for Moist. We'll see what they have to fix here moving forward. To me, there's no blatant mistakes out of Moist. They're just getting a bit stale on offense with the shots. I mean, there's opportunities there, James. It's hard to be critical of this team.
It is hard to be critical, but if you're going to pick a moment to be critical of, Rise had the double tap ball to end the game.
Yeah.
He had the double tap ball to end the game. It was a great first touch. If I'm remembering correctly, did have boost to make a slight adjustment to take the shot. And so Moist had a look to end the game, and they weren't able to clutch it. Whereas Team Liquid, they didn't have that many looks. You do remember the one play where I believe it was Acronic. I could be wrong, but Acronic had a shot opportunity on net and hit a very weak shot. That was a scoreable opportunity for Team Liquid. But overall, Team Liquid has been comfortable sitting on the goal line. They've been able to read everything that Moist has brought to the table. You see,
which is so difficult, James. That is so difficult. And the main thing that's impressed me the most out of the defense from Team Liquid was their ability to predict the decisions from Moist Esports in the air, which is literally, I think it might be one of the most difficult things to do in this game, especially against Moist Esports, because there's so many outlets that Moist Esports can go for. They can go for flip resets. There's double taps. Vatira, he could have gone for a flip reset right there.
That didn't even count as a save. That's first touch didn't even count as a save.
And crazy stuff. Predict that they're not going to go for the flip reset. That's the thing that blows my mind. They know how Moist want to approach the net, and that's what's keeping them alive in these 2 games.
And it just goes to show you the future of Rocket League is very bright. The average age 15.83 or whatever years. And this is the future. These players are certainly players that we will be seeing for years to come. And the level of play, the speed, the mechanics has all been there. It has been tough for either team to find the space. Such good reads on both ends. Vatira locking down the back line. We've seen Oski make save after save. The air reads, like you're talking about, from Team Liquid have been paralyzing.
Quick shot! Goodness.
A bang play. Oski, who's been lights out on defense, trying his hand on the offensive end.
And this is such a demoralizing goal for Moist coming out of the timeout call. You want to see some improvements, and to get scored on within the first 18 seconds, definitely painful here for Moist, and a really good counterattack on the transition from Team Liquid. My word, James, this has been an unbelievable series from, I'd say, both teams. And it's so hard to be critical from Moist Esports. While they're down 2 games, it's been a hard-fought series, and we can definitely see this one come back in favor of Moist. We're just going to have to see how those offensive shots go.
Yeah, and they're going to have to start putting away the limited opportunities that they do get. And also, Turtle, that was our first goal in regulation. How does? We're in game 3. First goal in regulation.
I mean, it's my favorite type of Rocket League, okay? On the edge of our seats, we're buckled in, we're ready here. Hopefully we get a long one. I'd like to see it go to game 7. That's all we can ask for.
And Moist hasn't even scored yet. Yeah. They're still looking for their first goal.
Oh, man. And Joyo, I think in the last game, had 10 shots to his name. Couldn't find one. It's very difficult here, and you can fall into the side of desperation and start getting too aggressive, looking to get that first goal. So there needs to be a level of composure out of Moist Esports.
Now, I mean, we're approaching 20 minutes without a goal for Moist, which is, Moist, one of the most offensively impressive teams that we've seen in the RLCS. And I mean, I get frustrated when I can't score in one ranked game. I can't imagine the feelings of this situation where Team Liquid has had an answer to everything.
And James, this is kind of reminiscent here to the first series in the upper round 1 for Moist Esports, where they had to reverse sweep. They didn't score in the first 2 games. They went scoreless. But then in game 3, they got 2 goals to their name, and the floodgates were opened after that point. So maybe it's just a matter of scoring 1 goal, getting that first shot that hits and breaks the back of the net. That could lift this curse from Moist Esports.
And they're getting a chance here. Rise on the air dribble. Joyo waiting for space. Taking it up now off the ceiling. Vatira in the mid. The shot. And
oh my
wide.
goodness.
Another brilliant passing play, but the shot is lacking from Moist. More chances coming. Joyo on the back pass will get bumped off the plate. Akpau beating out Vatira. Rise back to the middle. Oski backwards, and a Chronic will bail out Team Liquid this time. Oski, the 50. Joyo, handbrake turn. And field to Rise, but a Chronic sweeps by and gets the bump and bumps him again. A Chronic taking no prisoners.
Now there's a lot of space for Oski, but he flicks it right to Vatira. Rise has plenty of boost, maybe a double tap from the backboard. He does go for it, but it's immediately met with a smashing clear down the other side. I do like the passing that we're seeing out of Moist Esports. Even if they can't connect on the offensive side with that final shot, they still continue to look for each other and go for passes, which is necessary to break this curse.
And you see Oski getting high on the challenge shot from a Chronic. That's high, but it's a rebound. Vatira floating in front of the ball. Follow-up shot, and it's a deflection and goes in. I think, who was this that tipped that in? Rise was on the goal line. Joyo accidentally hits this in when it looked like Rise might have been in a better position to go for that save. But
even then, with the power of that shot, I don't know if Rise would have been able to react in time.
Yeah, he might have been too far anyway.
And from his position, it looked like he assumed Joyo was going to get the save. So for that to come out and then get an unfortunate bounce into his own net, Moist Esports coming up empty-handed, still scoreless and yet to score in the series. Moist backs against the wall. Of course, if they lose this game, they're on match point, and they're going to have to look at a reverse sweep in a best of 7. So, of course, you're going to try and prevent that here. But they're still, stuck on defense, James.
And even offensively, you saw the shot from Vatira went wide. The good look that Moist had. They're running out of gas, and they're running out of time. Twitch chat, 80% predicting the victory for Moist Esports.
Right.
The desk predicting a sweep. But right now, we see Team Liquid doing all the beating. 3-0, less than a minute left. They're on track for a best of 7 perfect sweep, which you don't see very often.
Yeah, and the thing of it is they're getting read in so many plays, and the prediction from Team Liquid, they've got a magic crystal ball here, and they're seeing exactly how these challenges are going to end up, exactly where Moist Esports are trying to go. And I just can't explain it enough how difficult that is against such a highly mechanical team. So hats off, of course, to Team Liquid. 33 seconds left, and we might go to match point for Team Liquid.
It's a nice pass idea, but it doesn't come to fruition. And one other thing that Team Liquid's been doing very well is these bumps. When Moist Esports is trying to get something going, bumps at the midfield, whether it's the player rotating back or, whether someone's trying to take it into an air dribble and you just bump them off the ball.
Right.
Team Liquid has been doing such a great job of that.
And I think this has been one of the most frustrating games for Moist, as Team Liquid, of course, forced this game 7 to potentially get a perfect best of 7 sweep. And Moist Esports, James, they have everything they need except for the final shot. That's quite literally what it feels like. Everything is there. We even saw some attempts and opportunities in this game alone where that ball rolled across and the shot was just slightly far right of the net and couldn't go in.
And it's starting to get dire. I mean, the glass has been broken. You got right there. Yeah, right off the post and out. Moist in over 20 minutes. So, I mean, we're gonna be approaching half an hour potentially of Moist not being able to score, Moist is one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive offensive team that we've seen. They're at the, especially at the Winter Major, they were doing things that we have not seen anyone do at the highest level of competition before. And now to see Team Liquid shut them down to this degree is something no one expected. Well, maybe 20% of the voters. Maybe. Yeah.
And did they even expect it, or were they?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just playing the numbers.
I mean, I don't think anybody would expect this, James.
And even if those 20%, we're probably thinking, oh, this might be a Game 7 where somehow Team Liquid
Game 7 nail biter.
But now, it's denied again! Oski! Oski, he is parked on the goal line, and there's nothing that Moist can do to get him off.
Gibbs is proud right now. Gibbs and Oski, I'm getting the same type of energy here, okay? Sitting in net, getting every save possible, okay? This man, he knows how to keep those ones out. Vatira, a nice touch there on his own net.
Yeah, I had to change to Oski's perspective to see if he had a hard hat.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly.
He doesn't, but I thought he might for a moment.
I mean, Gibbs is his spirit animal, okay?
Oh, and the back pass opportunity, a Chronic poking it around the first attacker, going for the bump play. You saw Joyo couldn't take that ball because of that bump positioning. Vatira, pinch off his own corner. He's out of boost, and low boost for Joyo on empty now. Atau, second effort, potentially a Chronic diving in. Joyo has the battle.
Oh my!
Gets bumped. You see the back check.
Yeah, that's so frustrating too. Whenever you're trying to finally start something here on offense, you've been stuck on defense, carrying the ball out. You get bumped from somebody rotating back. One of the most difficult things to deal with in this game. Rise does take the full boost, so there's going to be plenty to work with. Still getting denied, and another 50-50. This has been, what, 6, 7, what feels like challenges in a row that are going in favor of Team Liquid. Another one that just bounces back to a Chronic. Moist Esports can't win that. They're losing on the 50-50s, of course, getting demoed left and right, and they're stuck in their own half, but still standing tall is Moist Esports, but for how long, James?
And it's remarkable how comfortable Atau was just being parked in Moist's half. On the backboard, getting bumps, getting demos. They're in full control at this moment. Right. But Moist, they have that offensive firepower. They need to find it, though, because time is running out.
Maybe this is a plan for Moist. Do they want to play more defensive and try to catch Team Liquid off on the transitions with some very fast and rapid counterattacks? Obviously, holding pressure and keeping possession was not working for Moist Esports. So if you hit the brakes a bit, focus on a more defensive play style, you might be able to draw them in and go for some bigger clears down the other side. That could be a potential strategy implemented, or shots given away to Team Liquid.
And now Vatira gets his flip. Woo! Excellent effort from Vatira, but that's shut down again. And we almost saw Team Liquid score just moments ago off a brilliant 50. Team Liquid has been in the grill of Moist Esports. Moist not able to find much space at all, but Joyo shut down, ran out of boost.
And look at Oski. He knew that Joyo was going to go off the ceiling and go for the flip, so he positioned himself to adjust. Now he's getting another follow-up, but it's met really early by Joyo. This is a good sign off the backboard. Early bounce and early read from a Chronic.
Oh, nice pinch touch from Vatira, but Atau expecting it. Back pass from a Chronic to Oski. Oski poking it around one. Can't get the 50. Looking for a bump. Atau staying in the play. A Chronic waiting in the middle. This one high off the ceiling. Oski will take it. Corner pass.
It's open. It's wide open.
The shot is good. A Chronic in the wide open net. You saw if Vatira gets that touch, Joyo creeps out too far, and the speed from Oski was too much.
Yeah, and Atau actually ended up bumping Rise. Rise was in position, but got smacked out of the way, and the timing all too good for Team Liquid to go for that shot right as the bump occurred.
We're approaching the final minute. The perfect sweep. The underdog, Team Liquid. Can they do it? This would be a historic moment, especially for them.
And it's up against Moist Esports. I mean, a sweep against Moist Esports in a best of 7, crazy. A perfect sweep against one of the best offenses that we've ever seen, even crazier, James. And now they're looking to extend the lead off the backboard. Oski, he finds it. The double tap. The man can't miss. On defense, he's putting in work, and on offense, he's putting in that same amount.
Oski is the knight in shining armor for Team Liquid. defending the fortress, now going on the all-out assault.
This is something else here from Team Liquid. And it's not like we've seen a flat Moist Esports. They've been throwing everything they can, flip resets, backboard double taps, everything getting saved, and also everything getting scored on offense for Team Liquid.
Unbelievable defensive showing, but there's still time left on the clock. Can Moist not only manage to score the first goal of the series, but tie it up with seconds remaining?
So important. They've got maybe a few more chances here with their lives on the line in the upper bracket. Joyo, this could lead to something off the side wall, but of course it's met by a Chronic. Final 10 seconds. I don't think they've got enough time, James. This has been one heck of a series.
Unbelievable from Team Liquid. The perfect sweep. Moist Esports for the upset. And they're moving on to the upper finals. You heard Gregan say this is the upset pick. You know, he criticizing Leaf despite picking Moist Esports himself.
Oh my goodness.
And it proved to be true. Team Liquid, this was crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen a team play better defense throughout an entire series against a team who is so mechanical. But that being said, Moist did have chances to score.
Yeah, exactly.
They had chances to score that they didn't put away.
And it didn't look like I was saying before. Things were there. The foundation was there for Moist Esports. This wasn't, a abysmal performance or a incredibly rough showing in all categories for Moist. They had the opportunities. They were getting the setups in front of the net. At the end of the day, it was coming down to the execution of those shots, and they just simply couldn't put them away. But it was not the same case for Team Liquid as you look at the replays here. They were putting everything away off the backboard, winning challenges, getting those chances. That last game was probably the most possession we've ever seen them have that entire series, and they still looked so comfortable. They weren't getting caught off guard with transitions and counterattacks, which I thought was what Moist Esports was looking to build and establish was a more defensive gameplay. But even that didn't work against Team Liquid.
Team Liquid was the aggressor in so many situations, especially with the bumps, the air bumps, the air demos, the back checking, getting bumps on rotating out. It was all there for Team Liquid. And I truly think the turning point in the series that could have been a positive turning point for Moist was that opportunity from Rise in overtime to hit that double tap.
That double tap.
Who knows where the series would have gone if that play was converted. So Moist will be sent down into the lower bracket. Team Liquid with the historic upset will be moving on to the upper finals. Who's going to play them? We'll find out after the break.